That's my best monkey. That's my Godzilla X Kong hype. I'm still so sick, that was kind of a bad idea. We're here. We're here! Yes! Yes! Oh, it feels good. It feels good. And there was a day and a time when we thought the MonsterVerse would end in 2020 with Godzilla vs. Kong, and we were wrong. What's up, everybody? D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing a brand new Godzilla X Kong The New Empire breakdown video. I guess it's kind of a news video, but I'm still like almost a year behind in news, so I'm not calling it a news video. It's a breakdown. I'll cover this news in months whenever I get there, whenever I'm caught up. But by then, I'll still be months behind. Okay, I'll stop delaying it. I'll just get right into it. I have so many thoughts swirling around my brain that I cannot contain them all. This is going to be a pretty off-the-cuff video. I'm not going to be super organized with it, and I'm just going to kind of run through it because I want to be excited. All right, so first of all, huge shout out to Godzilla X Kong, because literally all we got is a title announcement. All we saw was the title for the movie, and it's #4 on trending on YouTube, baby. Just for the title. Godzilla still holds some weight. Godzilla and Kong can still go to bat at the box office. All you people saying Godzilla vs. Kong was just a fluke. It was only because it was the first film to release in the pandemic. I hope I get to shove this axe down your freaking throat. I hope I don't eat these words, in which case you can shove an axe down my throat. But this movie seems to be popping. People are hyped. From what I have seen, people are hyped. Also, huge shout out to Dalton, not the Dalton you guys know, Dalton Other Dalton, who goes to school with me. Huge shout out to Dalton Other Dalton for sending me this on the way to school. Now, I will admit, I'm not doing a reaction for it. I made the conscious decision that I wasn't going to react to it because I actually didn't think I was going to be excited for it. So I just wanted to watch it and just get it over with. Not in a bad way, but in a way where I was like, I just don't feel like I'll have enough to say in a video. And thankfully I did, because it took me a while to really let the hype set in and to fully be like, oh my god, this is gonna be cool. Okay, let's run through it, starting out with the title, Godzilla X Kong The New Empire. Now, I know a lot of people don't love this title, and all I can say about it is it may not be the best title in the world, but it's leaps and bounds better than Godzilla and Kong Origins. Name me one movie with Origins in the title that is well received. Not many. Godzilla and Kong Origins sounds like a buddy cop movie that probably wasn't going to be very good. This one, Godzilla X Kong The New Empire, has a lot of mystery and intrigue to it that I think it could be great. The X has been used a few times in Godzilla filmography history when Versus has already been used. Also, they can't just call this Godzilla vs. Kong 2 because Godzilla and Kong are not versing from all reports in this movie. X is a little more ambiguous and allows for multiple interpretations. Is it Godzilla vs. Kong? Is it Godzilla vs. a Kong? I don't know. It could be Godzilla X Kong as in their versing. X could also mean Godzilla and Kong. It could mean X as in Godzilla and Kong versus Kong. You know what I mean? That's kind of seems to be what it is, which is so freaking crazy. I mean, who would have thought that? If you had given me a million years to guess who's going to be the villain in the next Godzilla movie, I would have never ever said, oh, it's going to be another eviler Kong. I just never would have thought. I like the more ambiguous title. The New Empire doesn't sit totally well with me because it kind of sounds redundant of Captain America The New World Order, which comes out literally 2 months after Godzilla X Kong, so kind of bad timing to have pretty much the same title, but yeah, whatever. I would assume that the New Empire most likely refers to the fact that Godzilla and Kong will be going up against their true secret king of the Hollow Earth, this secret antagonist we've never heard of before, classic MonsterVerse. By defeating him, they will be establishing a new empire. And I think this new empire is going to be a joined forces where the two kings rule together. The reason I think that, not only because Godzilla vs. Kong's ending would imply that, and also the novelization flat out states it, but the purple, pink, and blue title card I think reveals a lot. I really like the purple, pink, and blue title card. I think it's very colorful, very different from a lot of the other color palettes we see from modern movies, and I think it's really pretty. I'm really excited for that. Rather than the greenish, bluish versus orange red of Godzilla vs. Kong, here we see purple, which is the joining of blue and red, meaning Godzilla and Kong are now aligned in harmony. These two will be working in a symbiotic relationship to take down their new threat. One thing I do worry about is that this movie might be a little redundant tangent in that we just watched the ending of the Titan War. We just saw what happens when Godzilla fights Kong. Now I guess we're going to see what happens when Godzilla and Kong fight Kong. And I worry about a couple things in that, didn't we just watch the story arc of Kong become the king of the Hollow Earth? He took the throne, he took the axe, he sat down, he was the king. And now here we're going into this new movie and it's like, Kong's no longer the king, there's a new king. Godzilla is also not seemingly the king, there's another king that he has to dethrone. Isn't that the story arc of their last two movies? Godzilla becomes the king of the monsters, Kong becomes King Kong, and now Kong's no longer King Kong, and now there's another king of the monsters that Godzilla will have to take down. Seems maybe a little redundant, but I'm excited to see what they do with it. I also worry that they're going to give some ancient rivalry explanation. I really hope they don't. I'll pitch some ideas in this video or my next video where I think there's a lot of opportunity to do something other than an ancient rivalry, something a little scarier, and I hope they do something a little scarier. Also, I've seen a lot of people assuming because the tone of this teaser was so dark and ominous and the music was so dark and ominous, which was lovely. I loved the music, I loved the tone, the vibe of it all. I don't know if the music here was composed by Junkie, but Junkie XL is coming back and I hope he does a better job than he did the first time. But I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, the tone of this movie is probably going to be way darker and exactly what we want. I don't know. This image really gives that vibe. A lot of danger, a lot of ominous, scary vibes to it. The teaser certainly has scary vibes to it, but the title card is so bright and colorful and vibrant, and Adam Wingard is a very fun filmmaker. Even when you watch his horror movies, they're still fun horror movies. They're not scary horror movies. I would never say an Adam Wingard movie has been scary other than maybe The Blair Witch. But other than that one, that's kind of the outlier in terms of the movies of his that I have seen. And in terms of what I know of his filmmaking sensibilities, he seems to like 90s goofball action movies. And I would think he's going to lean more into the silly, fun fantasy aspects that he leaned into with Godzilla vs. Kong rather than the darker horror routes. But maybe he saw the backlash to Godzilla vs. Kong and understood that he needed to take things a little in the direction back towards 2014 and King of the Monsters, which is a little more apocalyptic and dark. I hope so. We have a new description for this movie, and I'll run through it really quickly. It states, the latest entry in the MonsterVerse franchise follows up on the explosive showdown of Godzilla vs. Kong with an all-new cinematic adventure. Notice how they say the latest entry and not the last entry. Yes, dude, the MonsterVerse will continue. Pitting the almighty Kong and the fearsome Godzilla against a colossal, undiscovered threat hidden within our world. That seems to be who we're looking at here. Challenging their very existence and our own. I love that. I love that they have to be teamed up against this guy. That's what I said, Godzilla vs. Kong, they shouldn't have teamed up. They should have ended that movie settling their beef because Godzilla learns to respect Kong even though he wins. I love the Mechagodzilla fight, but it kind of spoils the fact that the next movie is going to be the two of them teaming up, which is always what I fucking said it should be. I've said from the start that they should team up in the movie after, not Godzilla vs. Kong. Whatever. The epic new film will delve further into the histories of these titans, their origins, and the mysteries of Skull Island and beyond. Good thing we're revisiting Skull Island. They kind of did away with it in Godzilla vs. Kong in a way I didn't appreciate. Also, here we see we're delving into the origins of the titans, which of course harkens back to the working title for the film, which was Origins, so we're going to be exploring probably the Titan battle, while undiscovering the mythic battle that helped forge these extraordinary beings and tie them to humanity forever. So I guess there we go. Now we hear for sure that this is going to be delving into the Titan War, where of course, from what we've seen in concept arts and cave paintings and whatnot, the Iwi people helped team up with the Kongs and maybe the Godzillas, but the Godzillas and Kongs were at war with each other, but in previous concept arts we've seen they've also fought other threats. I'll talk about that more in the next video. Okay, getting into the actual teaser images, what we see here. We start out with Kong sitting on what appears to be a throne with two pillars on either side of him. This is very similar imagery to the visuals of Kong on his throne during Godzilla vs. Kong, and actually when the teaser starts out, that's what I thought it was. The difference here is that Kong's throne in Godzilla vs. Kong was much larger with a big back that he could lean against and had a pillar running up to the top of the temple, whereas here we have pillars on either side. So this appears to be a rival Kong throne, a rival entity in the Hollow Earth. The eyes light up and reveal him to be an eviler, more menacing figure than Kong, and he is surrounded by a boneyard. He even has an evil big breath that he does. The boneyard is very similar to the Skullcrawler's boneyard. Of course, they are the devils of Skull Island, and in that case, I would assume this is the Satan, the devil of the Hollow Earth. And it also reminds us of the few scattered Godzilla bones throughout Kong's temple, where, of course, the axe was found in the first place. I wonder if this is going to be the Kong who took down the ginormous Godzilla, Earth-sized Godzilla that the axe was crafted out of. The bones appear to be mostly nondescript, with lots of ribs and a few heads that look to be Godzilla heads, but the final image reveals a Godzilla skull glowing blue and a Kong skull glowing orange in the foreground, showing that this creature creature is a threat to both. The eyes glowing on this creature are blue and menacing, meaning he might be similar to the Godzillas in that he can harness some sort of energy. Kong's eyes are also known to glow in the MonsterVerse under the right circumstances. A lot of people forget, but of course an infamous story is that a VFX artist quit Kong Skull Island because Jordan Vogt Roberts requests that Kong's eyes glow in the dark. So Kong's eyes do glow too under the right circumstances, it just doesn't happen very often. But here, of course, we see that his eyes are glowing very blue, very similar to Godzilla. Not like the orange glowing Kong skull we see in the foreground, showing that the Kong's color is still orange, meaning this guy is something more in between, a little more of a mysterious figure. I'm wondering, and I've seen other people speculate that maybe this Kong is fueled by Hollow Earth energy that of course glows blue all around the Hollow Earth and is what lights up the Hollow Earth and powers the whole thing. That could be very, very possible, that this Kong has lived down there for so long that the Titan radiation flows through him and maybe gives him some sort of special abilities. I don't think he's gonna shoot an atomic breath like I've seen some people say, but what if this guy can harness electricity and we finally get the lightning Kong we were always meant to have? And maybe because Kong now lives in the Hollow Earth, by the end of the movie he will absorb so much electricity that he'll go full Thor with the axe and he will just slice and dice some bitches. That'd be fucking awesome. Oh my god, I could not believe if that happened. G-Man, didn't you want the MonsterVerse to be realistic? Yeah. But they threw that out, and I have to just go with it. I have to roll with what they're doing. I can't fight gravity here. The MonsterVerse needs to be realistic in the Monarch TV show. If the Monarch TV show is a fantasy show, I'm gonna not like it. If Godzilla X Kong is a fantasy movie with fantasy sci-fi elements, I'm gonna think that it's a natural progression of where the universe has gone. I'm theorizing, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm theorizing that this is a kaiju hunter, an evil, oppressive force that kills for sport. I think this is going to be the predator for kaiju. This new creature is lankier and older looking than the original Kong. I mean, we can see some like veins and muscle textures in his arms. He looks a little withered. I would guess he will be much faster, but physically weaker than the Kong we know. But I think his advantage, other than the speed, is going to be he is a more skilled opponent than either Godzilla or Kong. I think he's going to be more well versed with weapons and tools. Maybe he'll even wield like a shield against Godzilla's and axes against Kong's or something. And I think he's probably going to be, and you guys can quote me on this if I'm right, and if I'm wrong, you won't remember. But I know for a fact that there is more than one threat in this movie. I'll talk about that in my next video. That's going to be what the next video is about. I know that there's going to be more than one threat in the movie, or at least I know there's going to be more than one new Titan, I should say. I don't know that there's going to be more than one threat, but I mean, I think we're going to see like new Hollow Earth Titans. I'm assuming this kaiju predator, who is the unknown lurking threat of the Hollow Earth that was in a buried secret that not even Godzilla remembers, I think he's going to be able to command other Titans. So I don't think he'll be able to physically fight Godzilla and Kong the way that other Titans would, but I think he's going to be able to command multiple Titans into battle against Godzilla and Kong, and that's going to be his advantage. Because I've seen a lot of people being like, bullshit, this guy can beat Godzilla. If Kong couldn't beat Godzilla, then this guy can't. And I would agree with you. I would think that his advantage is going to be that he can lead Warbats and Skullcrawlers and Behemoth or whatever else into battle. What if he rides Behemoth? I don't think he's going to ride Behemoth into battle, but that'd be great. Be really goofy. Many speculate that this will be more like an orangutan than a gorilla due to the redness in the body posture, but I'm not 100% sure about that. We've also seen red Kongs before. Kong has been red in the 1976 movie, and the original leak for Godzilla vs. Kong shows a more red Kong. I think what we can confirm, though, is that Cranky Kong has just entered the MonsterVerse. I don't know what else to call this guy, so I'm going to call him Cranky Kong until I have some reason to call him otherwise. I think Cranky Kong is going to do some real freaking damage. Okay, the final image we see in this teaser is a close-up of the Titan's face with what many speculate to be red paint on it. Red fur and scars running down his nose and on his eye. He also has glowing blue eyes very similar to Godzilla. So again, is this a Kong with similar powers to Godzilla? Or is this a Kong who can maybe harness lightning? Or is this just nothing? Is the glowing just a part of this animation that was beautifully done to announce the title card? Thank you, Legendary, for giving us something to bite onto. It has been a long time since Legendary has given anything to us like this. this. I said years ago that Godzilla vs. Kong should be announced with something similar to this, and they did it finally. It seems like they maybe have understood that their horrible withhold of all Godzilla vs. Kong information really upset the fan base for months and months on end, and it seems that maybe they're going to be not doing that this time, and that they're going to have a more traditional advertising campaign, which could even start as soon as SDCC this summer. That's what I would expect. How smart is this guy, is my real question. Is this war paint on his face, or is this just lighting? It seems to be war paint. That seems to be what it is, which is awesome, because obviously Dawn of the Planet of the Apes shows that apes and war paint is the coolest thing anybody can put to film, and if a Kong wears war paint, that's so awesome. Actually, I know that that seems like something I shouldn't be into, but if the Kongs can craft an axe, then surely they can cover their face in something to make them look a little more intimidating. Is he the one who sculpted the temples? Obviously some Kong had to be smart enough to. And did he craft the axes? Is this the one who crafted the axes? Or does he have other weapons that he has crafted? Does he have like a Godzilla sword or something? I have no idea. But I'm so excited to find out what they do to make this a unique threat that can stand against Godzilla and Kong together. That's going to be a hard thing to do. I feel like Mechagodzilla only got the jump on them, and that's the only reason he was able to, but oh my god, what is this guy up to? I'm ready to find out. What about you guys? What did you guys think about this teaser? Is everybody as hyped about I was not as hyped about anything Godzilla vs. Kong related as I am about this teaser, which is so nice to feel. What do you guys think about it? Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys not excited for it? Is there anything in here that you guys didn't love? I cannot wait to continue my discussions on this teaser. I'm gonna do at least one more video about it. That will probably be my next video. And then I'm probably not gonna talk about it again for a long time because I'm still a year behind on news. But please let me know down below, what do you guys think about this? Share your theories and maybe I'll address them in my next video. I would love to know what you guys think, or maybe I'll do a follow-up to my next video, one final follow-up on the teaser after this to hear what you guys think, and then I'll talk about all of our theories together, because I'll probably record my next video without posting this one. Please let me know down below. Also, please consider supporting the channel on the Patreon. You can check out the Patreon with the link in the description below. It goes a super long way towards helping make sure I can keep making videos like this for you guys, and it truly is the blood injection that is keeping this channel alive, so I would really appreciate if you go check it out. If you do, you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more, so consider it. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for watching. I hope to see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man out. I think I've had to do this before for King Kong. Now introducing Kong, the eighth wonder of the world!